The man you are about to meet is one of the new hard men of the British media. Hard-nosed, gimlet-eyed and quick of tongue. He first showed up behind the camera as producer of the notorious television programme The Word. Then he showed up in front of the camera in The Big Breakfast. Now he's everywhere. One of those quick young fellows who make us older fellows fill in our bus pass applications with renewed vigour. Get behind his tungsten facade. Their pulses a compassionate heart. So let's see what the world looks like this week to Paul Ross. Paul, what do you think of the government's new plans to send 14-year-olds out to work?
I think of all their economic cock-ups, this is perhaps the most worrying. Not because I'm worried at all about young people working, because the sooner we can put some moral fibre into them, the better, as far as I'm concerned, but simply because no one is more surly and emotionally maladjusted and hormonally imbalanced as a teenager. And the idea that these people are going to be unleashed upon the public is terrifying. Say, for instance, one was placed, and it's Gillian Shepherd's great idea, of course, but someone was placed in a funeral directors, and you've recently had a dear loss, and you phone up and say, hello, I wonder if you could come round to 72 Acacia Avenue. They go, why? And you tell them, my mother has just passed on. Oh, isn't that typical? Home and away's on in 15 minutes. I've got to leave. Oh, all right, I'll be round. Bang. The other thing I think that certainly in food emporia, particularly fast food burger chains, anybody under the age of 25 should be banned. Because in my experience, whenever you go for the full Big Mac and fries to go, you are served by Freddy Krueger. The kind of face that a blind person could read. So they should be banned from working there until they're 25.
I agree with all this. You appeal to my conservative heart. Were you concerned by this news that Wolverhampton has been invaded by a plague of mega caterpillars?
Well, I was until I saw a photograph of these so-called mega caterpillars, and they're about the size of the top half of my little finger. And are there any Midlands people in tonight? Thank goodness for that. Because they are, in my opinion, whinging hybrids. They're neither fish nor flesh. And you can just imagine them thinking, what have we got to moan about? In that sense. And what they've got to moan about is the sound that caterpillars make when they munch leaves. Now, it could just be me, but I somehow think that even a million caterpillars will make a noise no louder than... isn't going to keep me awake. And I need to refer to this story, actually, I've got it here somewhere, because they must have sent the hacks up to this place, Gounard Close in Wednesfield, near Wolverhampton, and they finally found a woman to give them the quote they're after. But how many people did they interview before they found June Watkins, who said, bearing in mind these are caterpillars, it's just like a scene from a horror film. I spend all night trying to get rid of them and all night having nightmares about them. Now, she must think that... She must think the Care Bears movie is terrifying, must she? My Little Pony, ah!
Surely one of these people are complaining about is there are piles of caterpillar droppings everywhere.
Well, again, I don't want to sound too anti-Midlands, although I can't bear them, but I've trod in Irish wolfhound doo-doo, and it covers your ankles. That's offensive. I once kneeled in elephant feces. That is horrible.
That's a dropping.
But
yeah.
A million caterpillars' poo wouldn't fill the palm of my hand. I mean, in fact, Anita Roddick is practically heading for Wolverhampton now to turn it into face lotion. So, you know, get real.
Did you read the Daily Mail story that suggests that our children, there are suggestions that our children be taught to be truly British?
Well, I have to say, I read the article. We are such a rich and diverse nation with so much to offer the world that often the focus is on what is called, for want of a better word, high culture. That we took of Shakespeare and Keats and Elgar and people, and we forget our other great popular culture gifts to the world. And I think children should celebrate some things that Britain leads the world in, like, for instance, the fact that women, when they hit 20 stone in Britain, and when their arms start to look like the wattles from the necks of Bernard Matthews' turkeys, always seem to have a man's name tattooed on their arm. Normally the word dick, well, perhaps it's a plea and not a name, but directly above... And that name is tattooed directly above their beautiful, puckered vaccination scar, which looks like a monkey's bottom. That's one thing they do. The other thing we should say about, I think, is we don't really have festivals as such in this country. We've got the Notting Hill Carnival, but it's really for London only. And people boast about Brazil and about Mardi Gras. But we do know how to have a great time in this country. And I think that's something school children should be proud of, the fact that an evening out for us can involve 9 or 10 pints of slightly warm lager, and a very hot, spicy meal, and then on your hands and knees, vomiting on the pavement for other people to share that experience. When you get up and go to work in the morning and you tread in something squelchy and carroty, you know you're in Great Britain, and it's great to finish.
Yeah, did you read about this Hear Me Moan phone line in San Francisco? I mean, I think the advertisement says Hear Me Moan and you call up. Is it a con?
Well, in this one, they phoned up and you heard somebody saying, "That wall needs painting. I've been on to him for days about it. Look, he comes into the house without wiping his shoes. I can't believe the kids never call me." And, of course, people phoned the police, but the police said, "Hey, tough toenails, you heard somebody moaning." And, of course, I'm sure tonight, if you think about phoning the phone on that says, say, "Come play with my melons," I wouldn't, because what you might hear is kind of... "Oh, I dropped me melon. Oh, I ruined me melon when I was playing with it," and that would be all you'd get. In fact, a lot of sexual services, because they're the kind of things that people are embarrassed about admitting they've been ripped off on, can get away with murder. And there was, in America, of course, there are endless. There's a nude car wash, there's a topless donut shop, there's a topless pizza delivery service. And about 5 years ago in Macclesfield, and this made the national at the time, a couple advertised, there was an advertiser, nude cleaning. And it said, "Arranging a stag night, have your house cleaned by nude cleaners." And they got lots of inquiries, but what they didn't say was it was a couple over 65 who turned up. And again, they turned up. "OK, where do you want us?" The guy got down, obviously, probably left his socks on, and there's Mum going round with the stretch marks and the varicose veins in the corner dusted, and probably Dad as well with the stretch marks. And, of course, at the opportune moment, you say, "Don't bother dusting the skirting boards." I think, well,
You see so much more than I do. Thank you very much, Paul Rudd. Thank you. Good. Very good. And now, as part of our continuing service to consumers, we proudly present the latest range of not entirely necessary inventions, without which your life would be marginally less complete. First, have you ever had trouble changing light bulbs in the middle of the night? Neither have I, because we're content to wait until the morning, aren't we? And if you're not, here's the answer.
Pop! There goes another one. You can drag over a chair, put a box on top of it, pile on some phone books, stand on your tiptoes, and you still can't reach that light bulb. Now, there's Bulb Buddy. It lets you reach that light bulb without standing on anything. Bulb Buddy grasps firmly onto any standard bulb. The deep suction cup won't let go until you want it to. Then just squeeze this end of your Bulb Buddy and the bulb is released. Bulb Buddy removes that bulb in safety and comfort. And look, when a blown bulb leaves you in total darkness, Bulb Buddy even provides its own light. It glows in the dark to help you replace the bulb.
I'm barely 5 feet tall, and believe me, reaching high places isn't easy. But with Bulb Buddy, changing a light bulb is one problem I don't have anymore.
So don't reach for those light bulbs, reach for the phone and order Bulb Buddy now.
And you can use your Bulb Buddy to attack burglars who break in to steal your light bulbs. To do that, you have to be fit, and to be fit, you need a cyber step with the all-important accompanying video.
Cyberstep, the astonishing home fitness system inspired by virtual reality. This state-of-the-art stair climbing machine with downhill motion video makes exercise awesome. Just slip the tape into your VCR, hop on, and step into another world. The downhill motion video tricks your mind into believing and feeling that you're actually moving downhill. Reduce stress, burn calories, firm and shaped tummy, thighs, and buttocks. Cyberstep, the astonishing home fitness system inspired by virtual reality.
Or you can just sit on your buttocks, watch the video, and imagine you're in a car plunging downhill to destruction. But now you're super fit, the important thing to do is conserve energy. You don't want to be reaching out to switch on your electronic devices. This is what you want to do.
Presenting the Smart Clapper.
How smart could it be?
The Smart Clapper lets you turn two appliances on or off at the same time, and it knows the difference. Clap twice to control one, 3 times to control the other.
Clap on, clap on.
Now all you have to do is to figure out a way of clapping 3 times without clapping twice. Unless you want the dishwasher to trundle across the kitchen floor and attack the microwave before the vacuum cleaner sucks up the cat.